Welcome, Jumping In, an introduction to ripple effect mapping. This is the first of 3 training videos that will outline the process and steps you will take to master the art of ripple effect mapping. We will end with a story infographic describing your program titled EB Forecast in video 3.
Hi, I'm a graduate student at West Virginia University in Dr. Melissa Olford's research lab. This video will describe and demonstrate the ripple effect mapping experience. So what it is, how it's used, and how it's used within the iCook for each program. After reviewing these videos and the Leader Packet Guide, you will have the tools, the information, and the confidence necessary to conduct a great ripple effect mapping session. Today, we will have graduate students from our research lab to help conduct this video. So let's get started.
Before we go ahead and give a breakdown of how to conduct a ripple effect mapping session, we're first going to start with what it is and why we're using it for iCook. Ripple effect mapping is an impact evaluation tool that helps researchers capture the impact that iCook has had on its participants, their families, and then the surrounding communities. This tool ultimately develops a visual mapping image that can be shared with participants, stakeholders, and then community members, creating motivation within that community and determining the best program methods moving forward. In other words, this mapping activity will help you see iCook's impact in an easy and fun way that may not have been considered before. Using what we call community capitals, participants determine new ways that iCook affects different resources in their community. Detailed steps of this activity can be found in the Mapping Your Experience section of your Leader Guide. But first, let's go ahead and get started with the supplies that you're going to need for this activity.
We will now cover items you will need to complete a ripple effect mapping session. You need a drawing space medium, such as a chalkboard, whiteboard, or poster papers hung on a wall to record your map on. We have also provided you with a medium that you can print off located on the e-extension Moodle site. You need 4 different colored writing utensils to record your map with. You also will need space off to the side of the designated mapping area to record the following: a brainstorming activity section, types of people connected section, and participant feedback section. You need to print off handouts for participants. These can be found in the Leader Guide as well. You will also need the 7 community capitals printed off for your mapping area. Aside from these materials, you will need a facilitator to lead the ripple effect mapping session, 1 or more note takers, and a template form to capture what is being said and by whom.
Let's now talk about how to introduce the ripple effect mapping session and explain why we use these community capitals to the participants. One way we can think of our community is by thinking of 7 different parts or categories. These 7 different categories are titled capitals. Think of it this way. If you and your family were taking a trip in an airplane and looked out the window, what would you see? You may see some clouds, but looking past the clouds, what else would you see down below in the community? You may see some trees and a pond. This would be an example of natural capital. What else could you see? You may see a school building or a gym, and these could be examples of built capital. Additionally, you may see people walking around and interacting with each other, maybe riding bikes together. This could be an example of human and social capital. You can continue these examples until all 7 capitals are touched on. The 7 capitals descriptions can be found in your Leader Guide. Continue watching for descriptions of each capital.
Social capital is the connections and bonding between people and organizations that help make things happen and link new people together.
Human capital is the knowledge, skills, and abilities of people, such as work skills, leadership ability, and the health and wellness of people.
So our cultural capital are the ideas and customs such as our local traditions, arts, and music. It can also be just a way of thinking as well as family customs.
Political capital is the access to power and the ability to affect change due to a title, one's leadership, or work position, such as government officials.
Financial capital is the monetary resources available to invest in. This can include businesses and entrepreneurships.
Built capital are the infrastructures that support the community, such as telecommunications, roads, and buildings.
Natural capital is the natural resources such as rivers, parks, outdoor recreation centers, and farmlands.
Once we have introduced the 7 capitals within our community, we can then move into introducing the mapping portion. To help describe this process to the participants, think of sitting by a still water pond. You have a small pebble in your hand that you think about throwing into the pond. When you throw the pebble into the pond, it only makes a small splash. However, the impact of the pebble is much larger because it creates a ripple. That ripple creating a second ripple, and third, and so on and so forth. iCook 4-H is like this small pebble. It may only be one program, however, that program creates a ripple. That creates another ripple and can create a large change. The action that we have taken by completing the iCook program is like taking that pebble and throwing it into a pond. Placing the iCook title in the center of your drawing medium, as seen here, will act as a pebble throughout the discussion.